See that guy behind me? You probably don't recognize him and many of you will have never heard of him. But for my money, he's the greatest actor who ever lived. Honestly, he was the star of great movies like From Here to Eternity, Hitchcock's I Confess, and my personal favorite, Red River with John Wayne. He was one of the very first method actors. And both Marlon Brando and James Dean cited him as an inspiration. His name is Montgomery Clift, and he died in 1966 at the ridiculously young age of 46. By this time he was a pale shadow of the beautiful young man sat there now.
I can hear every word you're saying, you know.
I'm sorry, Mr. Clift. I was just a little overwhelmed to see you.
Well, why don't you come and join me so we can talk properly? So you were saying about how I ended up a pale shadow of my younger self.
Yes. I'm sorry. You died before I was born, so everything I know about you, I've read in books or seen on film.
The books and films were right. My life did fall apart. I was quite a poorly child, and grew up suffering from numerous niggling health issues, but the real problems came from my addiction to painkillers.
Yes, of course, the car accident. Tell me more about that.
Well, I was at a party with my friend, and co-star in A Place in the Sun, the great actress Elizabeth Taylor. We were in the middle of filming, Raintree County, and had been enjoying an evening with friends.
Oh, Monty. It's been a fabulous evening. Can't you stay, please?
I'm afraid not, Liz. I've got a scene in the morning.
But you can't drive. You have had far too much to drink.
I'm fine, Liz. It's only a couple of miles.
Well, drive carefully.
I need to go. I'll see you in the morning, bright and early.
Okay. Oh my God. Monty?
I was lucky to survive the crash, but I was badly injured. My face got the worst of it. I was in hospital and had to undergo extensive reconstructive surgery. When the bandages finally came off, my boyish movie star good looks were gone. Before you go in there, Miss Taylor, I must warn you that there has been fairly extensive damage to his face.
Thank you, Doctor. Monty?
Oh, hi Liz. The doctor says I can go home today.
Yes, my darling. I know.
When I was finally well enough to return to acting, the looks which had made me my name had gone, and I became increasingly dependent on painkillers and other medication. But you never lost your ability to act, Mr. Clift, and for me some of your very greatest performances came later in your life, in films such as Judgment in Nuremberg, The Young Lions and The Misfits. The Misfits. My last film. Yes. It was also one of the last films for your co-stars Marilyn Monroe and Clark Gable. Yes. Marilyn. Poor Marilyn. She was like my little sister. We got on like a house on fire. You worked with so many beautiful leading ladies. Liz Taylor, Eve Marie Saint, Lee Remick. But you never married. You've clearly not read the whole book, my boy, or you'd know that as much as I loved women, I was never in love with a woman, if you get my drift. Well, Mr. Clift, Monty, it's been a dream come true to meet you. You really were one of the greatest actors ever, and one of the last true stars of the silver screen. A pleasure, my boy.